started in a band called the Slinkies in 1979, actually. That was June of 1979 we first started playing. Minor Threat didn't form until November of 1980. I was in another band before Minor Threat called the Teen Idols, spelled I-D-L-E-S. And that band lasted about a year. I played bass in the first two bands. I started singing in November of 1980. I worked for an ice cream store, I worked for a movie theater, all at the same time. I drove a newspaper truck. I did a lot of part-time jobs all the time. Work that we have, we can easily deal with because we have such an economical setup. We are very, like, the way we operate is really low key. We don't have, like, banks of lawyers, or, we don't have lawyers and all these crazy people we have to pay all the time. We don't even use contracts for the most part. It's just sort of like, whatever. We just are. Just show up, the four of us. We have two people in the road crew, and we all know exactly what we want to do and how to do it. It's very simple. Message, or whatever you want to call it, is the music. That is our message. The songs are our messages. That's it. And we don't actually go into detail about, like, what exactly we're trying to put across, like, well, we really want people to think about this or this or this. We just write the songs, and we sing them and we play them, and that is the point. And we see ourselves as a band, and a band that plays music. For us, the video concept it hasn't really parlayed into what we feel is like an effective medium. In a lot of ways, I feel like medium kind of retards music. It pulls away from the power of the sound, because because for me, music creates images in people's minds, and that's what's so powerful about it. It creates these images. But if you supply the image, then for now, like forever and ever, like if I ever think of a song like Tony Basil, Hey Mickey, you remember the song? All I can think about is her. Right, all I can think about is her in a cheerleader's uniform. That's it. Not that I necessarily would have thought of something otherwise, but still, So from our point of view, I mean, music is powerful and legitimate and valid on its own. It doesn't need to be qualified by video, and it doesn't need to be promoted by video. And that's really what videos are mostly about, is promotion. There's definitely a possibility that someday that we may do soundtrack work for a film. I think we would, because that's something that we are interested in to some degree. But we would never, like, would give songs to soundtracks. We would write soundtrack, because we want to keep control over our music. We want our music to be like what's on the record, or what we play live, and not, like, I don't want somebody to hear a song and think it's like Charlie Sheen running down the street or something. It's just not what I'm into. The same way we're just not going to make T-shirts. Right. We're just not going to do it.
What do you think of that Fugazi T-shirt that says this is not a Fugazi T-shirt?
I think it was funny. The guy who was making it makes that. He was making Fugazi bootlegs. And I told him, stop making those shirts. And so he made that shirt. And I called him up and I said, well, I got to commend you. At least you have a sense of humor. But, let's put your money where your mouth is now. Like, you're selling these things. I want you to donate a good amount of money to a local charity. He's from Boston. Mm-hmm. And I trust that he has done that. I think it sucks that there's so many Fugazi bootleg T-shirts, not because we're not making the money, but because I think that people buy them thinking that maybe in some way they're economically supporting us. They're not. They're economically supporting greedy, parasitical, like parallel economy people.
Right, but there is a demand people want to wear that statement. They want to wear a Fugazi shirt.
They can make their own.